Okay, today I'm going to discuss about binocular subject refraction part 2, which is three techniques, as I have already told you in my previous video. But I must tell you that I have not used all the two techniques in out of three, so I'm not familiar practically that much, but definitely and theoretically and concept-wise, I'll definitely tell you. But I won't tell you that I'm that much good with the practice of binocular subject refraction, except the fogging technique. But let's delve into it and let's try to understand few concepts. Okay, so first is septum technique. What is septum technique? As we have discussed earlier, so basically we are going to procedure and we try to understand what happens there. So patient is basically sit behind the phoropter, and what is the screen? 6 9 letters approximately is there. Okay, septum is center of the patient's view. Okay, so patient's view, septum is in center, so instructed to hold their head or his or her head in upright position, not move head from side to side. If you move head side to side, then there will be problem, because that's the concept of septum, isn't it? So basically this is the chart. The F and L is pointed towards the left eye, and L above and F below is make uh, image in the right eye. So that's how this septums works. Okay, so binocular, but this basic frame structure is binocular, isn't it? So that's the concept. So after alignment, patient is attended to direct the right side chart with the retinoscope finding and place appropriate characters to project screen, and best is determined until the approximately 6 9 is best fit square. So basic concept is this, and then the alignment of visual acuity attended and directed to the right side of the chart, and cross cylinder is introduced to pair. So basically, as a monocular refraction, the cross cylinder is introduced to parallel to the axis to cylinder refinement. If cylinder is present, the way it's present, amount and orientation of measure, that's similar to the uh, monocular subjective refraction. And next is a blur or fog the characters approximately to, which is again the same like that, and achieve adding 0.751 is fair plus or is minus from this point of, and decrease by again on fogging, right? So this is same, isn't it? So basic concept is, this is monocular for left eye, this is monocular for right eye as a chart, but as a whole the frame is binocular, isn't it? So at the end, maybe monitor the red or green balancing to avoid over-minusing, which is basically duochrome test, isn't it? So same procedure repeated for left eye, and then each eye is blurred, fogging by this. This amount is binocular until the best reduced binocular level. At last, we fog binocularly and we unfog binocularly, so that we get binocular vision at last. That's the technique, and this is the same thing in vectographic technique. With the slide is vectographic technique is very simple. With the slide is placed in polarizing lenses placed in front of the patient eye. So basically, target is polarized, and basically lenses is polarized lenses is placed in patient's eye. That same thing whenever we're talking about polarized lenses for the what do you call that? The stereopsis, isn't it? The one is placed at 145 degree, another is placed at 135 degree. The same. Either you have them available for lens well or phoropter. So they are available for lens well or phoropter. Polarizing analyzer is organized at 45 degree and 135 degrees. Same. 45-degree axis is placed over right eye and 135 degree is placed over left eye, which is very same, isn't it? So basically, target is also polarized. So can you see the polarized letter on unpolarized background? So background is not polarized, but letter itself is polarized. So you just do opposite to with the analyzer, and then your left eye has F image and your right eye has L image, but your right eye cannot see F, your left eye cannot see L. That's why two eyes have two images, but the background is same, and at the background is we maintain binocularity, isn't it? So the right eye sees the characters oriented to 45 degree, left eye is oriented to 135 degree, right eye cannot see the letter viewing the left eye, and same thing as we have discussed. So polarized target and unpolarized polarized filters. So simplified bilateral subjective refraction, proper position of septum was no longer necessary. In case of septum, proper position necessary. In case of polar, but yes, definitely glasses should be at the orientation. So portion of the chart is polarized, give the angle of visibility I and parallel polarizing filter before it, and invisible I behind the perpendicular polarizing line. So basically F is seeing for the right eye and L is seeing for the left eye, and F we cannot see to left eye, L we cannot see by the right eye. Basic thing is this. So distance equity chart divided into the right and left half, each covered by the polarizing film, arranged to the transmitted light and polarizing 90 degrees to each other, which noise we know it. Both eyes could see unpolarized border, entire chart and area surrounded by it, isn't it? Border and the area, so except the letter, is definitely binocular. We can view binocularly and then we can maintain binocularity, isn't it? The last method is immediate contrast technique, which means basically fogging. So which made by Humphreys 1963, used 0.75 diopter over non-testing eye. See, by non-testing eye, what we do from this non-testing eye, we suppress central vision, isn't it? So for the performance of the astigmatic test and red-green test, and the called unilateral fogging or psychological septum. So fogging or psychological septum, basically psychological septum, not true septum, and basically it's a fogging technique, isn't it? Just to place over plus. So psychological septum centrally suppress the foveal image. Basically that's the concept, but permitted the peripheral retinal image to be fused. So in this case, peripheral fusion is there, peripheral fusion, and we maintain binocularity by peripheral fusion. Okay, the target could be dissociated and binocularity to permit the subjective monocular test while both eye are open. So basically the target are different because one eye is visual acuity is dropped. Binocularity to permit the subjective monocular refraction while both eye are open and we need both eye are open and unoccluded, but we do one eye at a time. That's the basic thing about subjective refraction, isn't it? So that's all. So key features such as outline of the chart, border, and basically its border, and center fusion lock provide the visual clue for both eyes and enable binocular fusion necessary and associated for the target. That's the key feature. Okay. So refraction is first determined and leaving the patient red in red. In red means basically in red means in diaphragm, which is plus, isn't it? Basically myopia over correcting plus. The patient is presented with the choice an additional 0.25 or 0.25 on the right eye and is asked for the lens marks and the letter 69 line is correct. Expected answer is 0.2. Basically we on fog. The left eye is fogged to 0.5 and the same is done for right eye. Whichever eye is fogged, that eye is not tested. Whichever eye is unfogged or basically there is no fogging, so that eye is tested. So 0.25 lens is this plus in front of the unfogged eye and test repeated again the present 0.25 and 0.5 is paired before the right eye. So basically we fog one eye and another eye is tested. If patient can accommodating before the second 0.25 or 0.2 choice, then 0.25 would be the letter of the choice, therefore accept 0.5. Basic means we try to uh, do try to try to try to enhance the vision, but at the same time we try to try not to over accommodate the patient or try not to push over minus. So if the patient is accommodating before the test, patient reports the letter clear with this, isn't it? If only equally clear with both the lenses and clearer with 0.25. So it shows if patient accommodate for 0.5 diopter is placed in front of unfogged eye, the two step of 0.25. This accommodation will increase the blur in the fogged eye, now fogged by 0.25, and blur will proceed binocularly. Just basically then cross cylinder axis and power is checked for Jackson cross cylinder, which is very same, and the spherical endpoint of then checked for each eye using basically spherical, if there is over correction or under correction, checked by binocular test. So I think that's, but I am not satisfied with my own presentation of the binocular vision because of maybe my limited clinical experience with the three steps. So basically we have to understand binocularly maintained test under test eye is monocularly. So that's key concept. Okay, so this is the reference. You can read from this book very much deeply, but let's hope we will make separately one video in the future. Okay, bis dann, tschüss.